Debit cards are, in my opinion, one of the best forms of payment for most people. They securely transfer funds while eliminating the possibility of acquiring debt. That's why I review so many of them. But the question stands, why don't I review secured credit cards as well? I mean, if avoiding debt is the ultimate goal, don't they fit the bill? It's a question I've gotten several times here on the channel, so we're gonna tackle it. And I'll let you know exactly where I place them in the hierarchy of payment methods. Let's jump in. Okay, secured credit cards are basically if a credit card and a debit card had a kid. It takes aspects of both, which makes a payment method that a lot of people like. On one side, secured credit cards are in fact like normal credit cards. They build credit and they have cashback rewards. On the other side, however, there's one difference that makes them kind of debit card-like. That is, they have a security deposit. Kind of like your apartment if things go wrong. The security deposit minimizes the risk of approving users for the issuing bank. And thus, secured credit cards are mostly marketed to those with either poor or no credit history. Here's how a secured credit card works. With a normal credit card, you have a credit limit. This is the max amount that a credit card company will allow you to purchase without making a partial or full payment of your balance. With a secured credit card, your security deposit is your credit limit. That way, if you don't pay, the credit card company can still get their money back. Let's say you apply for a secured credit card. The security deposit is $1,000, so you pay $1,000 out of your checking account. This $1,000 becomes your credit limit. So let's just say in the month of October, you can only spend $1,000 before you at least have to partially pay off your balance. Now here's the thing, a secured credit card will technically prohibit you from acquiring any debt because the balance will never be more than your security deposit. However, that doesn't mean that you won't ever pay interest. Secured credit cards are just like normal credit cards in that you still have a minimum payment deadline. And if you don't pay off your credit card by then, the credit card company will charge you interest on that balance. It won't actually use the security deposit unless you've failed to pay at least the minimum on the balance for generally 90 to 180 days. And by that point, you will have acquired a good amount of interest, poor credit reports, and late fees. But you won't acquire a massive balance that you can't pay off because your security deposit will merely get absorbed to pay off that balance. So yeah, all things considered, a secured credit card is a better financial decision than an unsecured credit card. But this is why I don't recommend them to my audience. Even if they don't allow you to acquire a ton of debt, you can still get caught paying 20 to 25% interest on your balance if you don't pay it off in time. And it keeps you in the cycle of believing that a credit score is the only way to live financially. It's not, and I'm living proof because my wife and I haven't used a credit card for over 6 years. If you save up for things in cash, you don't need a credit score. Earlier this year, we bought a used truck in cash, and guess what? The dealership didn't need to run our credit. And you don't even need credit to buy a home. You can go with a mortgage company that does manual underwriting, where they just dig a little bit deeper into your finances to confirm that you have enough income and savings to handle a mortgage. Now, just to be clear, I understand why people use credit cards. They've got lots of benefits. I understand the argument. But according to NerdWallet, at the end of 2022, the average American household had almost $8,000 in revolving credit card debt. So clearly, the average American can't use credit cards effectively. With debit cards, you can't acquire debt. There's fraud protection built in. And there's actually a lot of debit card options with cashback rewards and other benefits included, which is why you should watch this video next, where I show you 16 debit cards that I've used and which ones are my favorites.